गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजना यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजना यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी माधव कुंज जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव राधा माधव राधे जय राधा माधव राधा माधव राधे जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपाद शिला प्रभुपाद की जय। यम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र सतस्य श्रीमद् अभय चरणारविंद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामचर्य शिल हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री गौर भक्त वृंद की ग्रंथ राज श्रीमद् भागवतम की यनिताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the lotus feet of Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Shakshurum Militan Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitan Yena Bhutale Swayan Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Scha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gorange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. I'm just curious because it's the first time I'm so far from the mic. You can hear? It's okay. Sound is good? Or do I need to come closer to the mic? I need to come closer to the mic? I choose then. Okay. Is it any better now? All right. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 8, text number 11. Good. Sutta uvacha upadharya vachastasya Bhagavam Bhaktavatsala Apandavam idam kartum Draunir astram abhutyatam Sutta uvacha upadharya vachastasya Bhagavam Bhaktavatsala Apandavam idam kartum Draunir astram abhudyata Sutta uvacha upadharya vachastasya Bhagavam Bhaktavatsala Apandavam idam kartum Draunir astram abhudyata. Bolo. Sutta uvacha Padarya vachastasya Bhagavam Bhaktavatsala Apandavam idam kartum Dronarastram abhutyata. Sutta uvacha upadharya vachastasya Bhagavam Bhaktavatsala Apandavam idam kartum Draunir astrang abhudyata. Sutta uvacha upadarya vachastasya Bhagavam Bhakta Vatsala Apandavam idam kartum Dronerastrang abhudyata Vaishnavis. Bhakta Vatsala Pandavam idam kartum Dronerastrang abhudyata Sutta vacha upadharya vachastasya Bhagavam Bhakta Vatsala Apandavam idam kartum Draunerastrang abhudyata Sutta uvacha. Sutta Goswami said, Upadharya, by hearing her patiently, Vachaha, words, Tasyaha, her, Bhagavam, the personality of Godhead, Bhaktavatsalaha, he who is very much affectionate towards his devotees, Apandavam, without the existence of the Pandavas' descendants, Idam, this, Kartum, to do it, Draunehe, of the sons of Drona Acharya, Astram, weapon, Abhudyata, understood. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sutta Goswami said, having patiently heard her words, Lord Sri Krishna, who is always affectionate to his devotees, could at once understand that Ashvatthama, the son of Dronacharya, had thrown the Brahmastra to finish the last life in the Pandava family. Purport. The Lord is impartial in every respect. So the theme of this verse, just to get your attention, is about the Lord's partiality or impartiality. It's a topic that is repeated through the Bhagavatam multiple times. Very important topic. So let's see what Prabhupada has got to say about it. Is the Lord partial or is he impartial? That's the question. Hopefully by the end of the class we will be clear. Okay, maybe you're already clear. Maybe a little more clear. Okay, so I'll read. The Lord is impartial in every respect, but still he is inclined towards his devotees, because there is a great necessity of this for everyone's well-being. Okay? So that is the essence of everything is going to be said today in the class. If we just get that point, class is successful. Okay? I'll repeat. The Lord is impartial in every respect, right? But still he is inclined towards his devotees, because there is a great necessity of this for everyone's well-being. The Pandava family was a family of devotees, and therefore the Lord wanted them to rule the world. That was the reason he vanquished the rule of the company of Duryodhana and established the rule of Maharaj Yudhishthira. Therefore, he also wanted to protect Maharaj Parikshit, who was lying in embryo. He did not like the idea that the world should be without the Pandavas, the ideal family of devotees. I'll read the verse again. Sutta Goswami said, having patiently heard her words, Lord Sri Krishna, who is always very affectionate to his devotees, could at once understand that Ashvatthama, the son of Dronacharya, had thrown the Brahmastra to finish the last life in the Pandava family. So the context of this verse, as you're probably aware, since you've been coming to the classes, is that Uttara is pregnant of Parikshit Maharaj, and Ashvatthama, who had been in big trouble before, already killed the 5 sons of Draupadi. He is trying to destroy the last life on that lineage in the womb of Uttara, and she is approaching Krishna for protection. And it's such a beautiful verse, I'm going to read it, okay? Previously. Uttara uvacha pahi pahi mahayogin deva deva jagatpate nanyam tvat abhayam pasye yatra mrityo parasparam. Uttara said, O Lord of Lords, Lord of the universe, you are the greatest of mystics. Please protect me, for there is no one else who can save me from the clutches of death in this world of duality. Very relevant verse for the current times, isn't it? So now the question is also, how, and this is a question that has been expressed many times in the Bhagavatam, that how is the Lord favoring his devotees? How is the Lord Bhakta Vatsala? That will show that he is partial. And partiality in the material sense, in the material context, is not considered like a good quality. When we see in the world, it's a current thing that people favors someone not on the basis of their own qualification, but on the basis of some personal interest or some relationship that we have with them. And this is going all over the world. And as a result, someone who may be more qualified doesn't get the post or doesn't get the job because he doesn't, have the proper contacts, the proper connections. There is this word called nepotism. Nepotism means that, I will favor my relative. I will put him into a prestigious, I will give preference. I will favor that person. And the danger of this, of course, is that, like nowadays, we have many unqualified people in very powerful positions just because who they know, right? And those who are actually entitled to get those posts, they don't get them, despite their qualification. So now, is this quality, when we're talking about the Lord being partial to his devotees, is this quality in the Lord? Is the Lord doing the same thing? The devotees are described as Tulya Darshana. Tulya Darshana means they're distributing their mercy equally to everyone. This is the beauty of the devotee. And Narada Muni, when he was speaking about the Bhaktivedantas, he described them as that. They are equal. They are not showing favoritism. I remember before I became a devotee, I had always this problem. I don't think I've given up yet, but that, it's so much injustice in the world, so much injustice. But really, is there injustice in the world? According to the Vaishnava philosophy, is there injustice? There is no injustice. Right? Because everybody is acting under the same rule. The Lord is the supreme controller. So therefore, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 7th canto particularly, just after the Lord seems to have favored the demigods, the question was asked: Is the Lord partial? How he's favoring the demigods? And what is the answer? Is the Lord partial? He says the Lord is equal to everyone. So therefore he is impartial. And why, in what sense he is impartial? Because he is giving his mercy to everyone, regardless of their position, regardless of the material qualification. It's not that because we have some special material qualification or that we can do something very big for the Lord. Not big for the Lord. That we can do something very big, okay? That entitles us to get the favor of the Lord. What makes us get the favor of the Lord is what? It's not determined by any material qualification. It's not determined by any material circumstance. It's basically our love and our faith in Him. That's what conquers the Lord. So it's a very important kind of point to understand, because we see this throughout the scriptures also. Like was it there in the Ramayana, right? That there was it a spider? I forgot right now. That he was trying to do little service for the Lord, and Hanuman kind of, push her aside. Come on, we need to get more done. Was it a spider? I forgot. It was a spider, right? Huh? Okay. Anyway, it was someone, who wasn't doing so much, but the Lord said, no, his service is as important as your service, because he's doing as much as they can. So the Lord, he is spiritual. He is Atmarama. He is self-satisfied. He doesn't need anything. So in the material sense, when someone is partial, he has some vested interest. There is some hidden motivation why I'm going to favor you and I'm not going to favor him. Maybe this person is too qualified. He will become a competitor. I'd rather have him because I can control him. Never mind what is better for the project. It's vested interest. I'm selfishly motivated. Or maybe I get this person, and if I favor this person, then because he's a very wealthy man, he will give donations, or he will favor, I may marry his daughter, whatever. All these things are going on, all these vested interests. Why people, there is this partiality, this like nepotism. But we cannot bring this to the Lord. Even the devotees are not, as devotees, we're not supposed to act like that. We're not supposed to act on such kind of selfish, hidden agenda. And this is going all over the world. You see in the material world, if someone is from my country, he is good. Someone, I'm from Spain, or French, Spanish, okay, good. French, many people like that, in Spain, don't like French people, okay? Just on the basis of what? Nationality, Or someone is like, I have my football team, and if you are just from another football team, okay, I don't want to have anything to do with you. This material mentality. And this is what Prahlad Maharaj is describing in the Srimad Bhagavatam, that, these distinctions between friends and enemies. The whole world is acting on the basis of this duality. And these are extreme examples, but we should, contemplate in which way we also are making these distinctions. Oh, he is my friend. He smiled to me today. He never recognizes me. He's not my friend. But we don't really go deeper than that to actually understand what is the qualification of that person. So the Lord, He's not affected by this. If the devotees are not affected by this, never mind the Lord. The Lord is not affected. The Lord is not partial. He's not partial. He's given His mercy to everyone, regardless of their birth, Doesn't matter if you're a Brahmana, or if you are educated, or if you are pious, or if you are impious. These are all material things. When it comes to please the Lord and to get His mercy, the Lord doesn't take any of these things into consideration. And therefore we see in the scriptures so many examples of the Lord giving His mercy to so many different types of people. Pious, impious, qualified, educated, non-educated. Because what is it that captures the Lord? Is it any type of material qualification? Can I conquer the Lord by my intellect? Can I conquer the Lord by my material talents? Is the Lord interested in this? Can we impress Him by that? He's not impressed by any of that. He's impressed by love and devotion. That what captures the Lord. And therefore He's saying, and that's why, and here comes the nuance, and this is the secret. This is the most type of confidential knowledge given in the Bhagavad Gita. What is that most confidential knowledge? Which is so obvious if we just look at the cover of the book. But only those who are devotees will be able to see what is actually the most confidential knowledge. What is the most confidential knowledge? Just by looking at the cover. Krishna becomes the servant of his devotee. Krishna is Bhakta Vatsala. What is Krishna doing here? He's driving the chariot for Arjuna. What is happening here? This is now the first appearance of Krishna in the whole Bhagavatam. The first appearance of Krishna in the Bhagavatam. What is Krishna doing? He's riding the chariot for Arjuna. Same thing. And now he's going to give his protection to him. He's giving his protection to Uttara. So the Lord, He is partial to His devotee. But we should understand what this means. Is He partial because the Pandavas are, just because He likes them more, in the sense that, they are going to favor Him in any way? Does the Lord needs this? He's spiritual. This is the problem that most people have in the material world. First of all, they cannot concept of God as a person. But even if they do come to that point of conceiving God as a person, they think of Him in material terms. But the Lord is spiritual. He has no material quality. He's Swarat. The very definition of Swarat is that He is independent. When we become partial to someone, in one sense, it's because we are not independent. There is some fear. There is some desire for control. There is some vested interest. Only if you are, but the Lord is Swarat. He's not controlled by the modes of nature. So therefore, when He is showing His favor to someone, on what basis He's showing His favor? It's on the basis of the love and devotion of that person, which is not something material. It's spiritual. And therefore the Lord is called Bhakta Vatsala. He is known as Bhakta Vatsala. And He is the most confidential. This is the most confidential knowledge. Why is the most confidential knowledge? Because it reveals that the Supreme Lord is a person. He reciprocates. If the Lord will be completely neutral, then he will have the defect of impersonality, right? Because if it's like, say for example, I know someone listens a nice kirtan, okay? And someone comes and say, wow, that was such a nice kirtan. And the person who is leading the kirtan doesn't show, he remains stoic, like poker face. And then someone else comes out, I didn't like that melody, that kirtan was terrible, like poker face, Impersonal, right? It will be, if I make an effort to please you, and you don't respond to that, that will be a defect, wasn't it? Will not be a defect. So the Lord hasn't has a defect. The Lord is responsive. He responds to our devotion. He responds to our surrender. And that is the most important quality of all of Krishna's qualities. That He responds to our mercy, to our devotion. Like Krishna said, Prabhupada said in a lecture, he says that whatever you do for Krishna, He has a black notebook. He keeps record of everything that you do for the Lord. Can you imagine if He will just be neutral? It will be tough, right? So the point is that and that's Bhagavad Gita. What is that verse? Samoham sarvabhuteshu namedveshu stiyapriyaha. Help me. I always forget the third line. Namedveshu Mayitete suchapiham. Okay? That Yevayanti tumam bhaktya. Okay? That the Lord, He says, I am equal to everyone. I give my mercy to all, but whoever renders service unto me, he is my friend, he is in me, right? So therefore, the Lord, and the verse goes like, Samohan sarvabhutesu namedvesu stiyapriyaha. Third line. Yevayanti tu. Yevayanti tu mam bhaktya. Tu means in Sanskrit, but. Okay? So when we hear this word in the verses, it means that, okay, I've said something, I'm equal to all, samoham sarvabhuteshu. I'm equal to everyone, I'm giving mercy to everyone. Yevayanti tu mam bhaktya. But whoever renders service unto me, he's a friend, he is in me, I am also a friend to him. And the acharyas have explained that the first half of the verse refers to Paramatma. Krishna as a super soul, He is equal to everyone. He is reciprocating with everyone according, to how they act, whatever they do. The laws of the universe, they apply to everyone equally. He's explained is neutral. Okay? It's neutral. But as Bhagavan, when someone comes to Him and he actually acknowledges Him and offers Him his love and devotion, then He favors that person. Now, that He does that doesn't mean that in any way that affects His impartiality. It doesn't. Because this opportunity is open for everyone. It's up to the individual to take advantage of this. His being partial is not depending on him. It's depending on the jiva. Therefore, later on in this chapter, because this theme is going to be elaborated by Queen Kunti in subsequent verses, and she's going to clearly say that he is not partial. Later on, few verses ahead, 10 or 20, 15 verses ahead. And there she explains that, Prabhupada explains in the purport that there are those who ignore the Lord. So therefore they are not getting any mercy from the Lord. Then there are those who approach the Lord, but approach the Lord with some agenda. Okay? So they are also recipients of the Lord's mercy, but they are not getting the full mercy. And this is also explained in Gita, where Krishna says, when he's referring as the Sukritinas, and he's saying that they are all magnanimous souls. That's Krishna's heart. They could approach anyone for resolving their problems, but they're coming to me. They are magnanimous souls. That's Krishna's appreciation. But those who serve him with unalloyed devotion, for them, full mercy. He takes special pleasure in reciprocating with them. Ananyas chintayantomam, my verses are not coming today. Ananyas chintayantomam, yome bhakta prayasyate. Yejanam paripasate, teshan nityabhyuktanam, yoga kshema vahamyaham. Yoga kshema vahamyaham. And he says there that, that to those who serve me with unalloyed devotion, these are the beautiful verses in the Gita. There are some verses that are explaining about pure bhakti. So those devotees who serve me with unalloyed devotion, I personally preserve what they have and carry what they lack. And Prabhupada relates the story of Arjuna Acharya, that he was a Brahmana, and he was writing a commentary on the Bhagavad Gita, and when he came to this word of Vahamyaham, he said, well, the Lord doesn't do it personally, he gets it done. And she changed the word from Vahami to, instead of I do it personally, I get it done. And then he was a very poor Brahmana. He went out for begging, and while he was out, he scratched actually the word on the Gita, Bahami. He scratched it. And then while he was out, his wife was back at home, and then these two beautiful boys came. One was a little darker than the other one, and they were carrying all this boga, and they knock on the door like with a lot of urgency, and then his wife came, opened the door, and we brought all this boga for him, but we need to go. Said, well, who are you? Why you want to go so quickly? And they said, well, we are afraid that your husband is going to beat us up again. I said, my husband beating you up? Why? He's Brahmana. He will not do such a thing. And they say, look, and they show in their back, and in their back were all scratched, all these bruises, and they ran away. So she was so upset that she got all the boga and she cooked and she ate before Arjuna Acharya came back. And when he came back, he saw her eating and said, what's going on here? And he saw all the boga there. Who brought this? And why are you eating without waiting for me? And she said, how could you do this to these two young boys? They're so beautiful. And they brought all this boga for us. He said, who are these? Which boy? He said, yeah, he was a little dark, and it was so beautiful, so charming. And they brought all this boga. He was an intelligent man, and immediately he clicked. Oh my God, Krishna, he came personally just to prove that he does it himself. I don't get it done. I don't get my agents to do it. I personally take pleasure in providing for my devotee. That's the meaning of Bhakta Vatsala. Bhakta Vatsala means he favors. And that's the beauty of Krishna being a person. That's what made him so glorious. And that is also an impetus for us to having loving exchanges with him. But the devotee, when we are doing these loving exchanges, we aspire to do it without any motivation. Because he is Bhakta Vatsala. He has a special favor for his devotee. And his devotee, he has no motive. He only wants to please him. That conquers the Lord. So, and this is what also the very uniqueness about Krishna is that he is conquered by love. He is conquered. In other words, he is a person. He reciprocates. So therefore, in this case, when we are seeing in the Bhagavatam, is full of these reciprocations between the Lord and his devotees. And Uttara is coming to him full surrender. No one else can give me protection. The devotee, he has actually understood that there is not other shelter. That's what is bhakta, akinchana. The devotee is akinchana. Also in these prayers, we're going to see it in a few more verses. Yamma Ishvarya Suta Shribir, Edamana Madapuma. Tuang akinchana gocharam. It's coming in a few verses. That's what happens when we not read the verses often. Anyway. That he is the proper, those who are trying for, good birth, Aishvarya for wealth, education, beauty, they cannot approach you with a sincere feeling. My dear Lord, you are the property of those who are materially impoverished. So the principle here is not that we have to be destitute materially. The point here is that one has given up all other material aspirations. You may have opulence, you may have abundance, but this is not your shelter. And therefore the example is given there with Pundarik Vidyanidhi. He was hiding himself behind his, opulence, his beauty, and when Gadadhar Pandit came with Mukunda, Gadadhar Pandit's mind became bewildered when he saw him sitting in the coach, and he was like, with long, beautiful hair, oiled, and he was chewing betel nut and was spitting. He had spittoons on and he was like, apparently enjoying material life. But he was doing this just to keep himself, protected. And then when Mukunda saw Gadadhar Pandit's mind becoming a little bewildered, he recited the verse. And what was the verse? The verse was the verse describing about how Krishna is so merciful that he gave his mercy even to Putana. And then as soon as Pundarik Vidyanidhi heard the verse, he lost it. He just fell from the couch, and he was just, how I didn't get Krishna's mercy? How I didn't get Krishna's mercy? Even the demon got the mercy. That was in his heart. That was his aspiration. So when we cultivate this aspiration, and we cultivate this desire to please Krishna, then we get the special favor of the Lord. And this is explained throughout the whole Bhagavatam. One of the topics is that Ashraya, he's the ultimate shelter. And actually the Acharya said that there is only one topic, Ashraya, in one sense. Out of the 10 topics, they are all, Ashraya is all the other topics are depending on this one, that he is the ultimate shelter. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, immediately after that verse, Samohan Sarvabhutesu, he is speaking, I'm equal to all. But he says that immediately after that, he said, Apichet Sudara Acharva. That even if my devotee, he commits an abominable activity, he is still considered saintly. He is still considered saintly. So the Acharyas have explained that when we talk about Krishna as being a desire tree who fulfills the desires of everyone, it says that that metaphor is incomplete. Because a desire tree will reciprocate with everyone that comes to him in the same way for a desire. But it says, and the desire tree will not develop a loving relationship with the person who comes to him for asking benedictions. But Krishna, when someone comes to him, there is a loving exchange. That's the point. It's not neutral. He says that the desire tree will not become attached to the person that comes to him, but Krishna becomes attached to his devotee. So therefore the metaphor is not complete, because he becomes attached, and it is demonstrated in many ways. Like with the Pandavas also, when Duryodhana invited Krishna for lunch, cook a big feast, and Krishna didn't want to even taste that food. He says, this cooking is full of envy, it's full of enmity. And then he went to Vidura's home, right? And Vidura was absent, and his wife was there. She wasn't expecting him, and all she had some bananas there, and she was offering the bananas to Krishna. I was so mesmerized by his beauty and so excited that she was feeding him. I mean, she didn't know what she was feeding him. Krishna went away, and then when Vidura came, she said, Krishna came and said, oh, did you have any food for him? I said, yeah, I fed him some bananas. And then she saw all the bananas on the floor. And then she realized I was feeding him the peels. And he accepted them. Have you tried to eat banana peels before? But he accepted them. Why? Because he accepted the love and the devotion. So that's not his defect. That's his most wonderful quality, that the Lord is partial to his devotees. The Lord becomes conquered by love. And therefore, as I said, he becomes attached. He becomes attached to his devotee. And we experience this in our lives. And sometimes now some people may have doubts, because some devotee, he gets the coronavirus, or some unfortunate thing happens to that person. But the reciprocation between the Lord and his devotee is spiritual. It's not the demigods give material rewards to anyone. Anyone who comes to the demigods, they will give material rewards. It's neutral. But the Lord, he has a special plan for every individual. And ultimately, the reward that Krishna gives to his devotee is Krishna Prema, is his love. That's the highest reward. So therefore, when we are seeing in the lives of devotees, we have to have that present, that when we're talking about Krishna's mercy, we're not talking about something material. We're talking about something way beyond anything material, which is temporary. Because everything material is temporary. It will last for some time and it will go. The demigods may give you some prosperity, they may give you some beauty or some, charisma or whatever, but this is a temporary thing. But the Lord is giving us something much more valuable, and that is eternal life. So, in this way, the acharyas explain how the Lord is a person. He responds to our devotion. He responds to our faith and our love to him, which is not something material. So I'll just summarize that the Lord is impartial. The Lord is impartial. I'll just read Prabhupada's words. The Lord is impartial in every respect, but still he's inclined towards his devotees, because there is a great necessity for everyone's well-being. And this is one more point. Why is the Lord favoring his devotees? Is it for his personal interest? No, it is for the welfare of the world. When the devotees are favored, this brings auspiciousness into the world. This is for everyone's welfare. And that's why he's also sometimes, he says, Namo Brahmanya, Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha. He says he likes the Brahmanas, right? He likes the cows. He likes the peacock feather. He likes playing the flute. He likes yellow color. He has preferences, right? He is a person. Why he likes the Brahmanas? What are the Brahmanas? What is the purpose of the Brahmanas? Is to give transcendental knowledge, to invite, to bring the souls back home, back to God. That's why they are pleasing to Him. So, therefore, but at the same time, if someone is a Brahmana and he has all material qualifications, but he is not a devotee of the Lord, he doesn't please Him as much as someone who is a Melecha, who has no material qualifications, but he has faith in the Lord. He has love for the Lord. Hare Krishna. I'll leave a few minutes for questions. Well, so I was just finalizing to make it clear that, yeah, the Lord is impartial, because just like the sun, He is distributing His sun rays everywhere. Some people benefit from the sun. Some people don't come out of the sun now because it's dangerous. But actually, anyway, that was not a relevant thing to say now. But the point is that some people, they are receptacles of that mercy, and some people they are not. Like it rains, some cups are open, some cups are closed. So in that sense, the Lord, like the sun, is distributing His sun rays everywhere. Like the rain is raining everywhere. But some people are receptive to that. And those people who are receptive to that mercy, they get special mercy, they get special blessings from the Lord. And the Lord will take special notice from those persons and will give a special protection. And as devotees, I'm sure we have experienced this in our devotional lives, that often at the times that we feel the most fallen, the most undeserving, we get the most mercy. Anyone has experienced this here? Right? And when that happens, what happens to you? You become conquered. Because He is a person. He's not like tick-tack, tick-tack, tick-tack. He favors us. You take a step towards Him, and He takes as many as He wants. So we should keep this in mind, and this should be an impetus for our devotion. That actually, yeah, I can surrender to this person. This person is worth of my full surrender. Anyone else, he may favor someone else. He may not like me. The Lord is not like that. That's His perfection. Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantha Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Any questions or comments or corrections? Yes, bro. Oh, it's here. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you very much for the wonderful class. You made so many wonderful points we need to hear, especially during these pressing times. And at the beginning, you made a point about how the Lord is pleased with faith and love, devotion, right? And we should have this conscience to see this is Krishna's mercy personally in our life. When we go through these pressing times, we should be able to see it as Krishna's mercy. And I have a couple of questions. One is, we are in Krishna consciousness movement, but we feel so much anxiety about so many things, about the situation with the coronavirus, how we should raise money for the temple or health of devotees. So are we really showing faith in the Lord by being so anxious about all these things? And we are doing certain things. Of course, we would want to have a person who is suffering to be with us much more longer, because we value their association, so we pray for their health. But some things we are doing, like I have a question on chanting extra rounds for somebody's health. Japa, in my understanding, it's for purification of the heart, so Krishna is revealed in the heart. The only goal for chanting japa is Krishna prem, right? Ultimate goal is, we don't chant japa for any other purpose. So this is a pure spiritual devotional activity. So how does chanting extra rounds help another person's health?
So the question, the broad question that you asked, and I'll repeat, is that we should have faith, and we should have the Lord is pleased by faith and devotion. And now, when there are critical times, we show that maybe our faith is being tested, and and then sometimes the devotees are praying for health, or is this right or this is wrong? Well, one thing is that we can only act according to the level of our own realizations. So we cannot pretend to be more advanced than we are. And if we are, as I was saying at the beginning, if we are in fear, the fact that we are approaching the Lord is glorious. And if on the top of that, we are increasing our devotional practices, out of which chanting Hare Krishna is the most important, then it's glorious. But actually, deep within, we should understand that ultimately the Lord is like the Father, okay? And you don't need, in one sense, to tell the Father what you want or what you need. You have faith that He will do whatever He wants, and you're perfectly protected. So we have that understanding. So if I'm doing extra rounds, or if I'm doing a parikrama sometimes, or something, you do some extra thing. What I find that one thing that that's doing to my heart is opening my heart to the suffering of other devotees who, it is a fact they're suffering so much right now. So we are trying to bring auspiciousness into what appears to be an inauspicious situation. So, devotees are suffering, so we're becoming more Krishna conscious. That's pleasing to the Lord. And if the Lord is pleased, auspiciousness will come into that person's life. How the auspicious is not going to come, that's where I have to be detached. I cannot expect the Lord to fulfill my desire. I should have faith that the Lord will do the best He wants. So when it comes to devotees who have been doing valuable service and Krishna has taken them away, we feel heartbroken. We feel like, why did this happen? But on another hand, that person is being promoted to the spiritual world. So it's a cause for celebration, in one sense, So like when His Holiness Bhaktacharya Swami left, I was shocked. And I never had a personal relationship with him. But it affected me deeply, really, really deeply actually. And I will say that over the last few years, it's been perhaps one of the most impactful things in my spiritual life. Because he helped me realize that actually I belong to a family and that I'm attached to the devotees. And it was an impetus in my devotional service. So anyway, I'm just bringing that up because who knows what the Lord is doing when all these things are happening, you know? So it was so sad to see that happening, but at the same time, I never saw all the devotees all around the world came together. They were glorifying Him for days on end. This went on it was such a wonderful, auspicious, situation within the fact that we lost such a powerful personality and such a, pillar for this movement. But that was a glorious death. It was a glorious death. It was illustrated by the glorifications of the devotees. So, anyway, I don't know if I'm answering your question specifically, but the principle is that the Lord's mercy is upon the soul, it's not upon the body. It's not about protecting us from coronavirus. It's not about protecting our health. It's about, protecting our soul. And the question was raised, and I was asked to finish at 9 o'clock. I realized I got the message finished at 9, so I just finished. But there was some years ago when a very dear devotee of the Lord, she was killed in Liberia. I don't have time to tell the story, but the question was raised: how did the Lord protected her? Because she was given the opportunity to escape. They were going to shoot all the devotees and say, well, we spare your life. But she said, well, if you're going to shoot the devotees, you shoot me too. And she got shot and killed. So the question was raised, well, did the Lord protect her? I'm sure He did. But He protected her soul. So within everything, we should bring that transcendental perspective, that the Lord is the protector of His devotee, and He will do the best He can. So I'm increasing my chanting, I'm doing an extra tapasya for the welfare of the soul and for the welfare of the movement. That should be my motive. And in that sense, if someone being sick is going to be an impetus for me to chant extra rounds, why not? It's great. So it's all about consciousness. It's not about the detail, but it's more about the consciousness in which things are done. And I cannot answer more questions because it's 9:06 and I was sent a message, please finish at 9. Hare Krishna. Thank you for your question. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.